Once upon a time, there were two best friends. One of them had a computer and the other one sucked.
So we're
Sorry, in the same day.
Welcome back to the No Gameplay Video Game Channel.
Oh god, do you remember when we brought the channel back the first time? Like whenever you would not be able to record because you were indisposed.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna leave that as sinister as possible.
Sure.
I would just make shitty memes. And then on one of our chillins, I tried to convince people to pay me $1.60 for a shitty meme. So I could play Final Fantasy.
So on that note, so you remember the villain support video?
Yeah, I love that video so much.
That I made.
It's so funny.
Do you want to take a guess how much money I made off of that video?
I'm gonna say about $40.
Yeah, actually, yeah, yeah. Because at the end of the video, I was like, support your local villains. Send your local villains like $14 for a cup of coffee
And a new game on Steam. I'm gonna assume one of them was your older brother.
I got at least 3 series of exactly $14.
I didn't get shit. I didn't do shit.
You weren't in the video.
Yeah, but it's my channel. You're okay. You know what, you stupid fucker? I was the caretaker of this channel exclusively for many years, and I have not seen a single cent. And you got $42 and a go fuck yourself, you dickhead. I slaved over this channel for years, and he gets $42.
To be fair, so like, I didn't actually ask for money in that video.
That's not the point.
I said to send a villain, right? $14. But if you include that, I think there have been 3 instances of us, I'm going to say quote unquote, asking for money in videos. One is going to be that $1.60 for the shitty meme, right? 2 is going to be the $14 for a cup of coffee and a new game on Steam. And the third one was a fund for I forget if it was a gerbil or a giraffe.
It was a gerbil. In the first episode of Chillin, there's actually a 4th time that you didn't mention. One was I was asking people to send me their teeth.
That's not money.
No, but it was going to be to get money
for
from
your
the
tooth fairy scam. Yes.
No, not for a scam. I was going to leave it under my pillow for the tooth fairy. That was the whole point of the bit, was that I was going to take the money, I was going to take all the teeth people were giving me, because you get at least 25 cents.
The tooth fairy isn't real.
No, shut up. I'm aware of that, but they're not. That's why I said the bit.
But you're not asking for money, you're asking for teeth.
Exactly, shut up. So, but the whole point was, I would get the teeth, and because the tooth fairy gives at least a quarter, maybe $1 for molars, right? A human adult has 32 teeth or something like that. I don't remember the amount.
Black market pricing on teeth.
No, depending on if you had a rich family or not, some kids would get upwards of $5 for their teeth. Dead ass.
Well, you know what? I know who.
Yeah, I grew up in a fucking bougie suburban white town.
Yeah, I can think of at least 3 of our friends
exactly
definitely got $5 for a tooth.
But so that's what I mean, right? So with people to send me their teeth, right? Like, well, the whole onus of the thing was that I was like, you know how women give birth by pooping out babies, right?
Yeah, your plan, and I remember it, was to consume all the teeth and poop out a giant tooth.
That would be worth at least $30 because it was the combination, or of $24 because it was a combination of all the teeth. So I'd be pooping out. That was my get rich quick scheme from the Tooth Fairy.
What is a scam?
No, I'm not scamming them. I'm trying to scam the Tooth Fairy.
You kind of are scamming them because you are asking them for teeth that will result in no money.
I didn't say it had to be their teeth.
That's somehow worse.
Okay, so I'm the degenerate. Okay, this is something I've been realizing more and more over this last year, right? Like, as we've mentioned, I know the people in my life are fucking tired of hearing me talk about it, but my life has vastly improved since I've discovered self-care and by extension fitness specifically, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rediscovered fitness more accurately, because I did used to train as a power lifter in high school.
Yeah.
And there was also the one time that a couple years ago when we figured out when we thought I was allergic to aspartame, it was because I was working out again. I was trying to cut out sugar.
Yeah.
But the more I grow up, and like me thinking now, like, oh, you know what? I'm like such a normie now. Like all I do is go to work, go to the gym, go home, do my meal prep, take the animals out, all this, that, and the other. The more that I realize I'm getting weirder. The more normal my actions become, the weirder my brain becomes.
So I don't necessarily know that that's like true, right? So let's establish a baseline here really quick.
A control.
Well, I want to look into the self-awareness of how weird you are, right? So like when you were younger, did you think you were weird?
A little.
Okay, so you thought you were a little weird.
No, I thought sometimes I would say weird things. I didn't think I myself was weird.
Okay, so you were not self-aware about your weirdness when you were younger.
Not entirely. I knew sometimes the self would say weird things, but I didn't think that necessarily. I didn't think causation and everything. Like I didn't think it was coming. I didn't think it was coming from a place of experience. Is what I'm saying.
That is a weird thought that was bred in a normal, healthy mind.
See what I fucking mean?
So that's what I'm trying to establish, though, is because I'm curious, right? If you are actually becoming weirder, or if you're just becoming more aware of what's weird.
Oh, man, it's probably the second one.
Because, like I did this probably when I was, like, 21, 22, is when I had that realization that, like, I was a weird dude. Like, and a lot of my experiences were atypical of my peers, right? I already knew that I was different when I was in like high school and shit, right? Because I came from a foreign land.
A weird kid in a foreign land.
You know, but like it was then that it kind of struck me, like in my 20s, I was like, oh, it's not just that made me different, it's that made me weird. Because I wasn't Japanese, right? Like, I was a weird mishmash of like 5 different cultures that basically got stuffed into my childhood at various fucking moments in time.
Right in your childhood.
You know what?
That was a weird thing to
say. So like, but I became like aware of it because we would, we would hang out and stuff, and we would do our
hang out. We lived together.
Our riffing, right? We would riff.
No, hold on. Go back. We lived together.
Yes, we lived together, but we would riff when we were like hanging out.
Yeah, just like outside by ourselves,
right?
Smoking a dart.
And frankly, we would say some unhinged shit. It was only really once we got on Twitch, I would say. Once we got on Twitch, and like there were rules and guidelines of like what you can and can't say that I started moderating, right?
So I started moderating it because I joined that theater group, and there were a lot of kids.
So for one, fuck them kids.
No, I agree.
Two,
but not in that way, not in the bathroom anyway.
fucking the self moderation of like I had a set of rules, right? So I was actively looking to not violate those rules, but I wasn't actively looking to not like be a fucking weird guy, right? I was just now paying attention to what I was saying. And it was moments when you would say the most unhinged shit, and it would hit that moderation filter. And while technically it could fly, there was like a part of my brain that was like, that should never have been formed into a sentence.
Listen,
right? It's stuff like
hear me out.
Stuff like I'm gonna say it's on the list of banned phrases, but egg puss, right? When you said egg puss, a very primitive part of my brain unlocked. And it's that part of the brain that, like, once upon a time made our ancestors stone other people to death.
That's fucked up. You're a weirdo.
So, combine that with newly attained self-moderation.
And it goes on the list of banned phrases.
It goes on the list of banned phrases. Especially, you know, because, like, you're my best friend, man. Like, we've been friends for a long fucking time, and I don't want you to be stoned to death, much less feel the desire to stone you to death, right? Like, I don't want that.
That's not a thing that happens in a first world country.
So I'm putting it on the list of banned phrases, right? You know, because you never know. You never know.
You never know what I'm going to say. It's a non-zero chance. The chance is low, but it's never zero that I'm going to whisper in your ear egg toast.
Oh, God.
This episode of Chillin is infinitely more unhinged than the other two.
Whew. 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 Wow.
That was weird. So something else, right?
Yeah.
That I've realized more as I get older is like my bodily functions are like becoming just more and more just like unhinged, right? Because like this is actually me discovering this like in the last like 30 minutes. Because I've always made a joke how like because. You have had dad sneezes since we were in high school.
Straight up, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And recently,
sneezes.
my sneezes have become more dad-like. Just loud, like, pelvis-shattering sneezes. So whether that's mine or someone else's, I'll leave up to your imagination, dear viewer.
I'm just picturing you... like full-blown, like headbang sneeze into a stranger's pelvis.
It's just like, ah!
Anyway.
Sumimasen. What I want to But, and so like, now when I like laugh too hard and I start coughing, now the end of those coughing fits will typically have phlegm that I gotta get out of my throat. And like, unless I'm around, like, polite company, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, it's just happening. It's just, like, I'll shoot from the like that. And so, like, but when I am around, like, polite company, like, we went out to dinner last night, and fucking, there was definitely at one point, because whenever I cough, I want to clear the phlegm from my throat.
Yeah.
So I was coughing a few times last night because my allergies are going fucking haywire. As they do in this fucking state, apparently always at the end of fucking March. Like, there were so many times I had to control myself while we're at dinner to not just make these horrible raptor noises. Because I'm like, my throat is so uncomfortable right now, and I can't just turn into a fucking, like, Ford F-150 starting
So, I got a confession, right? Like, I'm gonna get this one off my chest, okay? There are many of us out there, okay? I am but one of many. But I do think that it is something of a rarity or an oddity in today's day and age, all right? But I am a bathroom stall writer.
I don't think that's weird.
Okay.
It's pretty normal.
We're getting to the weird part.
Yeah, okay. You're convincing me.
So, I apply one very specific tag, I'm going to say. It was my, what is that? Wow, that's signature? My brain, right? It's kind of like a signature, right? But it's like the thing that I would do, right?
A signature?
Nah, but like there's a word for it. And the only other circumstance that I can think of it, and it's not this weird, but like serial killers will do it.
Your MO? Your modus operandi?
It's not an MO, but it's like they'll leave a calling card.
Your profile?
A calling card. My calling card.
Calling card? Are we going to talk about persona?
No, it's my calling card, right?
I don't like that look you gave me.
My calling card was...
I'm gonna kill you.
And I quote, Miguel was here and... followed by whatever unhinged thing I could think of at the time. Right?
Why did you pick me?
Because we were friends.
I'm not a bathroom. So you're lying. You're a liar. You're fibbing. I don't bathroom right. That's weird.
Because whenever I would go somewhere where there's like a bathroom stall, I was usually there with you.
Fuck, fair enough.
All right, but it's also, it was like an anonymous enough name, okay, that I could put it in there. Whereas, like, if I were to use any of the monikers that I've gone by over the years, it's a lot more recognizable. Even my real name is, like, a bit more rare of a name to have,
Yeah, no,
I guess.
It's not.
I know far more Miguels than I know people with my name.
There's at least 3 of your name at my workplace. I'm the only Miguel there.
Super weird. But, yeah, that was the reasoning behind it. And it would just be stuff like Miguel was here and the horse will never recover. Or...
That's awful! You're a monster!
So,
your fiance will hear about this.
But what you need to know is that I have crafted you a legend.
No.
Across years.
You crafted me a fucking rap sheet.
Some of it was cool.
Okay, name one.
Miguel was here and the terrorists win.
That's not cool. That's explicitly bad.
Okay. Let me think of some good ones I've done. Miguel was here and... Nope. No, I mean... So, okay, I'm going to say it, but it wasn't as cool as maybe I thought it was at the time. But it was... Miguel is here, and Jesus is still afraid to show his face again.
Oh, no, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
You know?
Also, wait, hold on. There is no way you knew more Miguels than you knew of your name, because just in high school, I was the only Miguel in that high school.
Yes.
There were at least 3 Trevors in your classes.
In that high school, but there were 3 other high schools around us, which had a lot lower white population in them.
In all of my years.
We were in California.
In all of
there
my
were many Miguels.
Okay, in all of my years, I had only ever met one other Miguel. And he was actually Mexican. And he went to my middle school, and I have not met another one since.
It is worth noting that, have we stated your ethnicity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that I'm
Have we?
No, I was trying to come up with like a really completely like incorrect one. No, we've stated I'm Filipino very many times.
Okay, I've never met another Filipino.
I'm brown.
You are a.
I'm vaguely brown guy.
You're like
that could go either way.
I don't know if I would call that skin tone brown. Actually, you know,
I have takes from you, white man.
like I don't know.
No, you don't get to decide that. I'm invoking reverse racism here. Fuck
you. Anyway.
Is that the note we're leaving on?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Let's slide in something else.
Like my dick.
What is the most normal thing that you do? Right? The like least unhinged.
Go to work, I guess. Like wake up, get ready, and go to work.
Yeah, I guess that's not very fun, is it?
No.
What is the most normal trait that you have that you think is a rare trait?
Wake up and have a good day.
Okay, yeah, actually, that's fair.
That's weird.
That's fair. Yeah, no, people are not doing that anymore.
Like now, like over this last year, it's basically I'll wake up, I'll decide I'll have a good day, and I have a good day.
Man, so like you remember when like you were a kid, right? And you would get up. Like, you would get up on, like, Saturday morning and watch Saturday morning cartoons.
I would get up and play video games. I didn't really watch. I watched my cartoons after school.
You didn't do Saturday? You had cable, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, so for those of us that didn't have cable, right? We had to get up and
wait, I would just
Saturday.
like to say,
Saturday was the day.
Wait, hold that thought. The way this episode has painted my childhood as well as the last one, like makes it seem like I was I was the poor kid.
in the rich town, though.
No, we were still poor.
In the rich town.
No, it's just my dad happened to work for AT&T and Comcast.
But you were the poor kid in the rich town.
We would have been middle class in a poor town.
But you had cable, though.
Yeah, because my dad worked at AT&T. It wasn't because we could afford it at that time. We would eventually, but like...
Regardless, so you get up Saturday morning, all right, you get a big old bowl of fucking cereal.
I didn't eat cereal. I would have eggs and rice.
Filet mignon for breakfast.
I would have eggs and rice. I'm Asian.
So you would get up in the morning, big bowl of cereal, maybe some cold pizza.
I don't do cold
and
pizza.
I swear to... That I know is a lie. We ate cold pizza all the time.
I always heated it up.
Oh my god, you did. You were the worst. Holy shit. Okay, for everyone else out there that was normal.
Anyway, do your thing. I'll stop interrupting.
Saturday morning, get up, big bowl of cereal, turn on the cartoons, right? It was the highlight day. Because you didn't have school that day, you didn't have fucking work or whatever, because you were like 6. This does not apply to all sections of the world, but for the part that I was from, right? You didn't have school, you didn't have work. Cartoons came on roughly, I want to say 7 a.m. So you had to wake up early. You had to get up at like 6.
I absolutely did not do that.
Yeah. So Saturday.
Fucking...
This is a real fucking thing. You ask anybody out there that watched Saturday morning cartoons, because we didn't have cable, right? Or like DVR, TiVo, fucking any of that shit. We got up.
TiVo was for the rich.
We got up at 6 to 6:30. Okay, to go secure our breakfast from our fucking hungry siblings, right? And then sit down and watch Saturday morning cartoons. And it was the most joyous day of the week. Like every other day of that week, you were fucking like hungry to wake up at 6:30 in the fucking morning and get your day going on Saturday because it was open. It was free. You know, you could do whatever the fuck you wanted.
Yeah, like sleep in.
Except for it had to happen after cartoons because those were only on Saturday mornings. Who the fuck sleeps in when you're fucking 6?
I did.
I
didn't. I certainly didn't wake up at 7 for
you
cartoons.
not know? You were weird.
No, I just had cable, and I would play video games. I would wake up at like 8 and play video games at like 8.
Fucking so that
watch
feeling,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
That feeling of joy is what I imagine you feel when you wake up and have a good day.
No, it's more accurately like. You remember that one time you were walking home from work back at the Broad House and you just found just $100 on the ground?
Yeah, that was wild. That happened twice.
It's like finding $50 on the ground every day.
Every day?
Yeah, every day.
How do you maintain that level of happiness?
I go to the gym 6 times a week and I work out my aches there. Like dead ass.
That kind of sounds like I know that what you said is a very healthy thing, right? That's a very healthy sounding thing, right? But the way that you said it
was like very blasé.
Sounded like every time I get $50, I punch myself in the balls
and
it balances out. Like no, it sounds very much like I hurt myself to balance it. Not to be healthy.
No, but here's the thing. I think is that doesn't quite work because I like working out.
I know, but I also know.
You know what? No, I get where you're coming from. Because I'm a pump chaser, and you need to absolutely inflame your muscles with blood for a pump, and I'm going real hard.
But like when I'm talking about like how do you sustain that happiness, if you're getting $50 every day, at a certain point it has to not become special, right? The only thing that balances something like that is if like really shitty things occur to you.
Oh, they did recently.
So when you talk about, you know, like working out, you say it and it's supposed to be like a healthy thing, but it sounds like that's your counterweight. Like that's supposed to be like I'm able to feel joy every day getting $50 because it's immediately preceded by a beating. Like
so I think genuinely what it is, right, is over these last 8 months or so, like 8-9 months, I have been able to schedule and structure my life really well. And that helps a ton. Because most of the time, I know exactly what's going to happen in my day.
Yeah.
And it doesn't variate a lot, which is kind of weird and makes me sound really boring. But why am I still so weird? To really put a bow on it. I live such a normie life with a non-varying day-to-day schedule, typically. And I'm weirder.
Again, to bring it all back, I don't necessarily think that you're becoming weirder. In fact, I think that you are just as weird as you were, let's say, 9 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. You're like the same level of weird. You're just self-aware. You see it as weird.
8 years ago would be when I moved to Vegas with you.
Yes.
I think I'm weirder now. I was too depressed in Vegas to be weird.
You were depressed, but I don't think that you got it. Right? I don't think that you understood what you were was weird. I think you look at it and you're like, I was depressed. And that is true. But that is like a blanket covering the body made of just weird stuff, right? Like, it's not...
I like how we described earlier that I'm a person of color, and he proceeds to call me weird stuff.
But, like...
Do you see the persecution that I experience?
It's so like a great example is your tattoo on your hand.
It's corn.
It is corn. You have corn on your hand.
It's a Friday the 13th tattoo.
It is. You have corn on your hand.
Yeah, so I can tell people it's a corny tattoo.
That happened so long ago. And that's weird.
No, it's not. It's not as weird people getting Nazi symbols.
That's not weird. That's hatred.
Are you saying that's normal? You think everyone should have Nazi symbols?
It's just that's a hate thing, right? They're doing that purposefully.
Well, you're clearly hating my corn tattoo.
But you have corn on your hand.
So? It's not weird. I stunned him, ladies and gentlemen.
Like,
ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
There are instances on the channel that are referenceable where they might not be able to see you, but I will never be able to delete the mental picture
I know exactly the one you're thinking of. It was in, what was that, like, weird anime horror game? That was the VN.
Oh, God. Which one was it? I know the game, but I can't recall the name.
It was... I was just... So we had the bottom of a computer chair, right? I ripped off the back of it because I was like, it's falling off anyway. I'm just going to use this as essentially a mobile ottoman. So I would sit on it when we would record, and every so often... So I have a bad back. And a lot of times I'm able to relieve a lot of the pressure by just laying down and like hanging my legs off stuff. Because that releases a lot of the pressure in my lower back. And this was just before I would go to bed, so I did that. And Tokyo was like, "What are you doing?" Let me see if I can get it. What are you doing? Like that exact intonation.
So that moment was not you lying on the floor.
No, it was me lying
down. Mm-mm.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I was laying on the ottoman thing. I was like laying. They can't see this. But I was like laying down like this because I was trying to relieve pressure. And Tokyo's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm getting ready for bed."
No. So what he did was he took his I don't know what they're called. Are they still called wife beaters?
You could call them like a shirt, tank top.
It's a tank, I guess.
No.
He took his tank.
No, because I wasn't wearing. I wasn't wearing white beaters at that time.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
It was probably just a regular tank top.
Okay, it was a tank then. We'll call it a tank, right? And you had rolled it up above your stomach.
Oh, I was doing the
and then
the
above your nipples.
I was doing the shirt nipple thing.
You were doing the shirt nipple thing.
That's been documented on Chillin several times.
That has been documented on Chillin. But I'm taking that as a reference to show you what you don't do anymore is that. That was weird.
Well, it's because we don't record anymore.
Because you're not wearing a shirt at that point.
I mean, I was. It was on my body.
It's
if it's on my body, I'm wearing it.
You're not wearing a shirt. You're wearing something. But it's not a shirt anymore.
It was a shirt. It was just rolled up above my nipple. And it wasn't rolled up.
Let's go back even further.
It was like this.
Let's go back even further. Let's go back to Optimus shirt pants.
Okay, that one I can. Because that was just me underage drinking. And just... So I had this green shirt from H&M. This baby blue shirt from H&M. And one night, I was particularly inebriated. And I put it on as pants and held it up with suspenders. At the time, Tokyo had an Optimus Prime helmet that would say words.
No, it had a voice changer.
It had a voice changer, and it would have sound effects. So it's still on. It's got to be. It's either on my Tumblr or it's somewhere. It's somewhere on the internet. But there's a picture of me wearing my shirt as pants held up with a suspender, flexing while wearing an Optimus Prime helmet, and we dubbed him Optimus Short Pants.
So, like, when I say that you're as weird now as you were back then, like, you have been weird the whole time.
I think my actions were weirder. But the things I say are weirder now.
So, I'm going to get into this just because it came up. I know that we're super long episode, whatever.
Yeah.
We can go a few more minutes. I want to talk about how I think that Michael Bay...
What?
Hold up. Let me cook. I want to talk about how I think that Michael Bay is accidentally a genius.
Okay, fair.
Okay. And I want to talk about it using the Transformers franchise. Okay. The first Transformers movie.
Yeah.
All right. Relatively tame, standard stuff that you would see from Michael Bay. Except for one moment in it. All right. You remember how in one of the Transformers movies, Optimus Prime says the line, "Give me your face."
Yes.
Okay.
I think that was in the second one.
That was in the second one. The moment in the first movie depicted that happening. Because Optimus Prime was up to that point trying to be a good person.
Good car.
But there is a moment where Optimus Prime is in a fight with Megatron and he ends up losing this fight. But there is a moment where he goes full primal. I mean, just like animalistic, fighting for his life against Megatron, and he loses. Subsequently, after that point in the Transformers franchise, the Michael Bay specific Transformers franchise, he becomes a psychopath. And the whole movies, if you stop watching the movies for the plot, and you start watching the movies for the mental state of Optimus Prime, you can see him becoming a violent psychopath. And it makes them so much better. It gets to the point where he is saying, "Give me your face," and ripping people's faces off. Like, I understand that they're robots, but he doesn't understand that. Optimus Prime doesn't understand that.
No, that happened in the third movie, the Rise of the Fallen or whatever.
It was, the third movie. It was The Rise of the Fallen.
Because he was taking the Fallen's face.
He, like, if you watch the second Transformers movie, he's an animal. This man is ripping people's limbs off, and this isn't for, like, the sake of safety. When he's engaged in a fight with the Decepticons, it's on sight. Like, he is...
He stood on business.
He's standing on business. Like, he gets in there, and he tears them apart animalistically. So much so that in certain circumstances, he has, like, a gun that he could shoot them with.
And he tears them apart instead.
And they're unarmed, and they can't stop him. And he discards the gun.
He's committing war crimes.
And he pulls out different knives every time to dismember them. It's like such a fucking... It's a brilliant fucking case study. Like, he goes full serial killer mode. Like, it's not about winning the fight anymore for him. It's about causing as much pain and sadness and sadistic pleasure as humanly possible. And beyond even humanly possible, because he's a fucking robot. He's in it for the violence. And he loves it. And I could tell that eventually they were going to do the whole thing where Optimus Prime, he's gone and, you know, whatever, Bumblebee takes over or some shit. They did that in the cartoons, I'm pretty sure. I could tell that was where they were going, but, like, a much darker version of that, where, like, Bumblebee was going to have to put down this raving psychotic Prime. And I'm so mad that I never got that.
Okay.
So, Michael Bay, if you're out there...
Send me $14, which is enough for a new game on Steam and a cup of coffee. Which I should mention, I have not seen Tokyo that animated in months.
Rewatch the movies. Go back. Watch the Transformers franchise. Stop caring about the plot. You don't give a fuck about Shia LaBeouf. Watch Optimus Prime. You will be energized. It's fucking captivating.
Jesus, dude. Back in the day, Toga used to be like, man, I wish we had a webcam so people could see your weird thing. I want a webcam because this man had full on like fucking like crazy eyes. His eyebrows were going whack. Like a few of his eyebrow hairs are like out of place now. That's about how much his face was moving.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in to this chill episode of Chillin' with the Villains.
Where nothing weird happened at all. And I'm trying to get us to 40 minutes because this will very much be the longest Chillin' we've ever done. It was previously a record of about 37.
Yeah.
With the totally legitimate science episode.
Yeah.
And now we're still just talking to extend the timer.
I think we're good.
Every little
No, I think we're
counts.
done.
Remember to tip your waitresses and give yourself a weirdo hand job once in a while. You owe it to yourself to wake up and find $50 on the ground every day.
But when you do, know what is coming.
It's me giving you a weirdo hand job.